Hello, welcome to Skill Check, the positive gaming podcast from YMCA Exeter. My name is Andy.
And my name is Becky. Could you say that any faster?
Ooh.
Just get it out in one
you
go.
possibly could. It's a lack of breathing between the words.
Just get it all out. Yeah.
I want to say it's probably because I'm far too tired for my own good and I'm overcompensating with too much energy coming out all at once.
Like,
I'm still doing it, aren't I?
Go. Yeah, you are talking quite quickly.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Are you all right, Andy? Are you tired?
For a 4-day weekend. For 4 day.
A 4-day weekend. 4-day week.
For a 4-day week.
We did have a 4-day week this week.
It's felt longer.
Yeah, it's been a long week.
No, it hasn't. It's only been 4 days.
It's been 4 days.
What's coming up, Becky? Help us.
So we were talking stop killing games, which for me, I was like, I don't know what that means, but we'll explain later because Andy had to explain it to me. We've got Andy's game of the week, and we're talking about something to do with bears.
Yeah.
And first we have
gaming news. Right, gaming news. What have you got for us this week?
I have to say our first piece of gaming news this week is Microsoft is shutting. I'm turning into Sean Connery. Microsoft is shutting 4
That was very
studios,
Sean Connery.
including Tango Gameworks, the developer of BAFTA award-winning Hi-Fi Rush. The Tokyo studio is being closed alongside Texas-based Arcane Austin and Canadian developer Alpha Dog Studios. The Wisconsin-based Roundhouse Games will be absorbed into the Elder Scrolls online developer ZeniMax Online Studios. Microsoft has not said how many jobs will be cut as a result of the closures, which are being made at the subsidiary Bethesda, which the tech giant bought for $7.5 billion, then £5.85 billion in 2020. Head of Xbox Game Studios, Matt Booty, which I really enjoyed his name as well, announced that news in an email to staff. He said that the move meant it was ending development of Arcane Austin game Redfall, with some members of the team joining other studios. He said there would also be a small number of roles cut from the Bethesda publishing and corporate teams. More job cuts coming.
I mean, yeah.
They're closing little studios.
I mean, but also, it's starting to show it doesn't matter what the game is. I mean, Hi-Fi Rush, I admit, not played it myself, but I know it's gone bonkers. It is a big game. Yeah. It's all over Xbox. It's one of the games that Xbox are using to sell to PlayStation. I mean, what else does it...
But so that is what triggered the studio to think that they were going to get shut down, is that it was one of the 4 games they put on different platforms, and the studio went, oh, that means we're out, which was a trigger. So, like, it's amazing that's made that they've gone, actually, like, that's it. Like, they knew that, which is really interesting.
But surely that just means more money for Xbox.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think
that way.
It's really, I mean, it's just really sad.
It just seems heartless, and
it's also killing creative development as well. There's also like Redfall, the game Redfall. There's a second version of that game.
Admittingly didn't go down too well.
Yeah, but it became like a cult thing where they were like, there's some people really loved it.
Yeah. I mean, I can see,
But so they were developing like a sequel to that. Okay. And that now is completely gone. So they put loads of work and energy into developing what could have been like a sequel. I think, And
a sequel to that game could have actually been ridiculously good.
Yeah. So there's loads of stuff like that. Like that these guys have worked on. So there's other games that have been in the work.
I'm feeling ranty today.
Yeah.
Does that come across?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. So the other 2 pieces of news are positive game news.
Okay,
so
all right, okay.
So we should just skip because we know that there's job losses.
The bad news first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the second piece of gaming news is much better. Manchester Airport has opened a brand new gaming point in Terminal 1, giving video game fans the chance to play their favourite titles or try virtual reality escape rooms before their flights. The state-of-the-art outlet is an airport first in the UK, features games gaming PCs loaded up with a range of top games like Fortnite, Red Dead Redemption 2, Among Us, Hogwarts Legacy, Minecraft, Rocket League, and more. It also has a Formula One simulator, complete with steering wheel and pedals, as well as a Nintendo Switch. The setup allows people to don a headset and be fully immersed in any one of the range of games, so they can be whisked away to a different world before their flight even takes place. Prices start from a gaming session for just £7.50 for 30 minutes and vary depending on gaming experience chosen. Gaming Point is aimed at players of all ages, with age restrictions applying to certain games.
I mean, this sounds awesome.
Yeah, so basically...
This makes me want to go to Manchester
Airport just to get on the...
just to try and work out a way to catch a flight back to Exeter and somehow end up in Terminal 1.
I mean, so people do hang out for long bits of time in airports. So, like, you have to be there a long time before your flight. Yeah. They were saying in this article that it takes approximately... Security's got a lot better. Mm-hmm. So it takes approximately 10 to 20 minutes to get through most security now. Okay. Not with the current... So if you've been reading the news, there's been like a thing on the airport.
Oh, the e-gates thing.
Yeah, it all broke down.
That broke. It's fixed.
However... But bearing in mind when they have little glitches like that, it takes about 20 minutes to get through security. So it means that if you're required to get there 3 hours before your flight, you're into the bit through the security. Yeah. Duty free. It's not really called that anymore. What else? It's like the airport lounges and stuff like that. Before, 2.5 hours before your flight. So 30 minutes of gaming. Quick game. I mean, I took my Switch with me when I went to Australia a couple of years ago. I had my Switch with me in the airport anyway. I can understand why you'd want to do I also quite like the idea of doing a virtual escape room in an airport.
What happens if you get stuck in the escape room and
you can't
the flight gets called?
Yeah, I don't know. Also,
love it.
Most escape rooms are about an hour, which might be too long, depending on how long you were there before your flight.
And you're building 30-minute chunks.
Yeah. Interesting.
Clever.
To see how that works. Yeah, I just thought that was a nice little piece of gaming news. If you go to Manchester Airport and you happen to try this out, let us know. Our final piece of gaming news is this summer's Download Festival has added a new act to its lineup. It's not another band though, but the Japanese role-playing video game Shin Megami Tensei 5. I can't even say that. Vengeance. And an immersive experience will let festival goers play the game on site in Leicestershire, battling demons in the post-apocalyptic world. Download has called it a first of its kind experience and the latest in a growing crossover between the world of music and gaming. The festival, which takes place on the 14th to 16th of June, is usually known for its lineup of rock bands and indie bands, and acts this year include Fall Out Boy, Queen of the Stone Age, and Sum 41. The title, which combines some previous Shin Megami Tensei 5 games with new features and a new story path, launches on the same day as the gates to the festival open. So you'll get to try the new, if you going to download, you'll get to try the new game coinciding with the new bits of the game being released. Really cool. And it's and you get to play it, you can play it with other people at the festival as well. Cool. And you can play it online and stuff. It's really interesting. I thought it was really fun.
Stop killing games, Becky. Just stop it.
You had to start with that because before the podcast started, I had to ask you what you meant by that.
Stop killing games.
And then you said to me as an
explanation... I've gone wildly off script now.
Yeah. And as an explanation, you went to me, just stop killing games. And I was like, that's not explaining it to me. So Andy, explain it to me. What do you mean by stop killing games?
Well, it's probably best explained by kind of talking, by using an example, which is... The Crew from Ubisoft, which was an online-only game. Okay. Some games are online-only. Depending on who you talk to, will depend on the reason why, but generally it's that kind of anti-piracy thing. Yeah. Which makes the whole story ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. Because what happened is that it's an online-only game, and Ubisoft decided to turn off the servers. Okay. That therefore, making the game that you paid probably at least 40 odd quid for redundant. You just can't play it. Okay. So And that's a game even with a single player mode, so it's not like you need to go online to connect with people to play with.
Yeah.
There is the option to basically play by yourself, but because it's online only, it needs an internet connection in order to work. You can't play that game anymore. That access to the game has been taken away. Cannot play the game. So therefore, that is what is meant by killing games.
Yeah.
Now, and it's also important to bear in mind that there hasn't been a mod released in order to kind of help people, in order to kind of switch on the offline mode.
Okay.
Which is something that could have happened. Once upon a time, there was actually an option to turn off the online-only mode anyway, and so which makes it even more confusing.
Yeah.
And personally, it feels more like a business decision to do it rather than anything else. And I personally argue it's anti-consumer. Ooh, I'm getting ranty over this.
He's in a ranty mood today.
I don't know where that energy is coming from.
Yeah.
So therefore, that is what is meant by Stop Killing Games.
Okay.
Which is a website kind of devoted to kind of creating awareness around this and encouraging action to kind of bring this to kind of appropriate kind of governmental authorities. There's two actions happening at the moment. So they're looking to press charges against Ubisoft in France.
Interesting. Is that because, like, people have paid money for it and then they're taking away...
That's
like
exactly it.
Theft.
Yeah, you could argue that. There's an argument there, you know.
So what are they trying to press charges?
Well, the reason why it's in France is that apparently France has some very kind of strict pro-consumer laws.
Oh, okay.
So they've basically looked at the laws and gone, we feel this is very anti-consumer.
Yeah.
We have the best chance of making our point in France. So therefore, we're going to try and press charges against Ubisoft in France because we feel their laws will be on our side.
Right, okay.
What they hope to achieve from this, I'm not sure. It might just be a case of even making a point, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be a win. They are also got links on their website to different government petitions to kind of try and get this raised in government.
Yeah.
So discuss in Parliament, have that debate. To see if kind of consumer laws should be changed to kind of take this sort of behaviour out.
Yeah.
Interestingly, we were also talking about earlier about the beauty of physical media.
Yeah, so we were talking about, I was thinking, because I mean, do not sound I just go back to The Sims. That's what happens, because that's the game that I originally played. So I was saying that there's something to be said for having a CD and having a computer, and that's how you play the game. Like, I think we've moved to this place where everything is digital, and actually sometimes that means that it can be out of our control if we lose it. Whereas, like, in those days, you just have a disc and you put the disc in the computer and the computer would run it. And I like some of the computer games that we would have on disc wouldn't be compatible with the OS system or operating system we have now.
Yeah, but that's where emulators and things like that.
Yeah, and like you can kind of put on another operating system that would then be backwards compatible, so it's fine. But I think it is. I mean, it's a weird thing. It's someone I know was talking about how they're starting to print out their photos. Because all of my photos are stored on a cloud somewhere. But that means that I am completely out of control if they decide to shut down the cloud.
Very true.
And it's the same with this kind of thing. It's like, we talked about like games. When you have a digital copy of a game, is that your right to own it? Do you have complete power over it? Or is it still the game manufacturer's right to say, actually, we're going to take it away?
I think... Obviously, it depends on each individual game, but I think you got a point there.
Yeah.
I think is the right to use the game you are purchasing.
Yeah, and it's not the actual game.
The actual game.
Which is where so actually, in some ways, and this is like something to be debated, actually, are you getting more value if you buy it on a disc?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. But even then,
Yeah.
you might need an internet connection to play. Which would be something you have to look out for.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely something that's going to keep being a thing. It's not going to go away because you're going to have big companies who will use always on internet connection type things in their game in order to be anti-piracy measures, which perfectly, it's their product. They are perfectly within their right in order to kind of look after that. But has that gone too far?
Yeah.
For more information, check out stopkillinggames.com.
And now it's time for Andy's Game of the Week. Andy, what is your game this week?
Now, have you ever had one of those bank holidays where it's like you've barely done anything, but you've kind of laid around at home, done like watch movies, play some games, but when people ask you about it, it's been like, I don't know. Or you've had like really kind of full on.
Yeah.
Have a second one.
Yeah, me too.
And so therefore, when it came to planning this, I was like, I could talk about Bristol. That's not really a video game.
Did you have a week where you didn't play any video games, Andy? Or like not as many as you used to?
Well, not as many as I used to know. I could talk about the M32 to M4 junction where somehow 2 lanes of traffic becomes 3 lanes of traffic. Yeah.
Andy really wants to get that off his chest.
I really do. No. This is a family podcast.
We're talking about games.
But we did play Astro Bears when we were at our friends, and very kind of family-centric game. Very, very much kind of, not sure if it's a kid-friendly game. Yeah. Definitely kid-friendly. Maybe kind of 8, 9, 10-year-olds kind of plus sort of age. Basically, so we played this on the Switch. Basically, you are a bear of various skills and costumes running around this tiny planet, creating ribbons of light behind you.
Nice.
The idea is to not run into someone else's ribbon of light.
Okay.
You do that, you lose.
Okay.
And that's the game. There's various different kind of skills. There's various kind of planet sizes. There's various types of sort of bits and pieces you can throw in on it. But if you want a good, accessible game for people to play as a group, completely recommend it. It is not expensive at all whatsoever. It's probably about £4 or £5.
It's about £6 on Nintendo Store at the moment.
I imagine that's probably going to come out on sale at some point.
Yeah.
And will probably be like £4, £3. So definitely want to look out for on a sale price. I believe it's Nintendo Switch only. It feels like a Nintendo Switch game. Good fun, good group game to play.
Great. Well, that is the end of our podcast today. We hope that you have enjoyed it. Please do, if you're following us on social medias, or if you're not, please do follow us at YMCA Exeter and at YMCA Exeter Games. And if you are on YouTube, please do like, comment, and subscribe and wave at us. And we will see you next week.